What's up, everybody? Hey, we at it again. This is DC. We here on Power Moves, and we got a very exciting show today. I got my main man, Mr. Robert Jackson, aka. When I say AKA, Blackstone Construction. When I say this brother can build anything, he can take clay and make it into a multi-million-dollar mansion. Robert and I got history. We go way back, not only with Blackstone. I mean, we did other things in production. We just kind of like got together in jail and just, make things happen. I was recently with Robert a couple of months ago on a project that he was doing. And, man, when I say this project's out the chain, it's out the chain. But if you ever in the Atlanta area or anywhere in the world, you don't even really have to be in Atlanta. You could be anywhere in the world because I'm quite sure Robert, he'll throw the stuff in the truck and just ride all night and just come on and just start building. So we're gonna get into this program. I'm not gonna hold y'all up because I know that I want to hear from my brother and I want you guys to hear from him too. So hey, we're gonna bring Mr. Jackson on. What's up, Rob?
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? I'm glad to be here this morning, live and direct with DC. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to be invited here and just to be able to come on and just share with the audience who I am and the Blackstone Construction, Blackstone and Associate Inc. brand.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, give us a little history of Blackstone. How did it come to where it is today?
Well, Blackstone started out in about '08. Started out as just a name that me and my wife came up with, and we decided to say, hey, we need to come up with a name for the company, and with this company, it needs to represent not just who we are, but represent us as a culture. So that's where the black come from. Then we put the stone in it because black folks are used to being strong as a stone. So we put Blackstone together, and that's what represent us and represent not just us, but us as a culture.
Yeah. I see you representing the hat, and I see you representing
Oh
the
yeah.
the hoodie.
Yeah.
I see you got your swag on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got my swag on. Got to show
Yeah.
the people the swag.
Let's talk about how you say, for example, if I want something built. Take me through the process of us getting started from start to finish, like buying materials, what materials to buy, and stuff like that.
Right. So a lot of people come to me and they say, hey, I want to build a property. I want to build a home. And the first thing I would tell a person is that first we need to establish a budget on what you want to build. The next thing, after we establish a budget, the next thing we need to do is go out and search and seek out the land that's going to fit inside that budget. Once we search and find the land, the next thing you do, of course, you're going to put the land up under contract. But it's very important that once you put that land up under contract, that you put in your due diligence phases that, hey, I want due diligence enough time to be able to get the land surveyed. Because you want to make sure that the land is buildable, and if it is buildable, what all would need to take place with that particular piece of land. Now, once you get the land, we close on the land. You got the survey done on the land. Now what happens is the land have trees on it. Of course, we got to come in, we got to cut the trees down. So that's a process that's part of the budget. Once the trees is cut down, we got to grade the land. Once the land is graded, depending on whether it's a slab, and what slab mean is that a house that's just built on top of concrete. But you also have houses that are built on basements, walkout basements. So when you're doing walkout basement, the process is slightly different because now you got to come in, you got to dig down, you got to create the proper footing, you got to make sure that the land is efficient for what we're about to do. And you got to pour in walls and all that kind of stuff before you can actually start building the house itself. So now once you get through that phase, now you start building and you start, the first phase of construction once you get the land graded, once you get um, the soil and the dirt in place, the first thing you're gonna do is plumbing. You're gonna do underground plumbing. Underground plumbing means that you got to run all your water lines in from the street, and you got to run all your drain lines in to the house. Those are the two things that when you ride by a new construction house and you see all these little pipes and stuff sticking up, and you're trying to say, okay, well, what
Yeah.
is that? Those are your underground water, your underground electrical, if you had to bring electrical in underground, all those type things. All those pre things have to be done before you can think about building the house. And then once all those the pre things done, the most important things, which is like those are the most important things in the building process. I always tell a person that anything you build have to be built on a proper solid foundation. Sometimes you have these builders that you see out there, because I'm what you call a spot builder. A spot builder is a person that does a lot of building for individuals, or sometimes I partner with some developers, and I buy some of their lots before they tear down the trees and all this kind of stuff. But when you see these speed builders, you're some of you guys probably have seen houses, and the house ain't been there but a year, and all of a sudden the house is shifting. You starting to see cracks here, cracks there. Um, the foundation is the most important thing in building anything. So once you get the foundation in order, you get the underground plumbing, underground electrical in place. Now everything is just framing. Once you do your framing, then you come out of framing, then you do all of your mechanicals. Mechanicals mean you're doing your electrical, your plumbing, your HVAC, your alarm wires, anything that has to be covered in walls and all that kind of stuff. You start that phase. After that phase, now you go into sheetrock. Once you go into sheetrock, it's very important before you go into sheetrock that you think of all the things from a um, camera standpoint, from a alarm standpoint, from surveillance, from anything that you want to go in that house. It's very important that all of those things happen before any sheetrock goes up, because you can end up having to come back and tear out sheetrock and do unnecessary repairs, because sometimes people get into a place where they are rushing the process.
Right.
So once you cover up the sheetrock walls, now your sheetrock is up. Then your sheetrock finishers come. Sheetrock finishers are people that comes and make the sheetrock look pretty. So once it's painted, that you don't see all these lines, you don't see all the imperfections that are in the walls of the house. All you see is a beautified paint job. So now once the finishing done, once the finishing is done, then the walls is painted. Once the walls are painted, that's when all the detail stuff starts to happen. That's when the job kind of starts slowing up a little bit, because in the detail stuff, these are the places that you want to take your time. Your fixtures, your cabinets, your vanities, your light
Right.
fixtures,
Right. Right.
your
Right.
your flooring. All those type things are very important to a customer, because the customer really don't care what's behind the wall. They don't care about the wires. They don't care about the plumbing. They don't care nothing about none of that. All they care about is exactly what they can see, and that's the finished product.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So those are some of the phases that we go through when we're building a property.
When you're putting a property together, and because I know you mentioned about coming in and do the landscaping, what's the requirement for having how many trees you supposed to have on your property?
Well, that is different per municipality. Um, I most definitely try to stay away from those historic places and those historic districts, because they are very, very picky.
About
But
about
I
what you can
but
have?
I they're picky about what type trees you can move. They're picky about what type bushes you can move. Some of them even really picky even about the materials that you have to even use outside of the property. But again, it's just formalities. You know what I'm saying? If you really want it, we'll go through the formalities. Just paperwork and washing a couple hands that's gonna wash yours on the back end.
Yeah. Oh, now I know you've seen a lot of projects. Lay out one of the like worst projects that you walked on to. You be like, man, this gonna be a lot of work, because the property was damaged or the land was jacked up. How did you handle that situation?
Well, to be honest, the worst project that I ever walked into is that I took over from another contractor. And when I walked into the project, um, all the framing was just off. Everything was just completely just not in accordance to the municipality building code. So when I took over the project, I kind of had to tell the owner of the project that, hey, I can't build nothing off of what this individual has done. He said, what does that mean? I said, I'm about to start from scratch. I said, because when I put my license on this job, when I take over this job, the ending results is all that matters to me. And I said, I can't come and start fixing and maneuvering stuff on top of what this person has done, because it's just not gonna work for my brand. Like, some people do stuff for money. I do stuff for my name and for integrity and character. And sometimes I don't always get the customers, but guess what? They 9 times out of 10, the ones I don't get, they want to take shortcuts, they end up coming back and they
They're
still
gonna
have to
call you
spend the
back
money.
anyway. Yeah, they're gonna call you back anyway. Because sometimes
Yeah.
it's best to go ahead and just pay for the best. You know what I mean? Because I
Right.
know a lot of people like to cut corners, and I know a lot of people want to save money. But all they got to do is just talk to you and just say, "Hey, Mr. Jackson, I have like $400,000, and we want a 4-bedroom house, and this, and this. I'm quite sure you can find within that 400 what you can build them for that price. But
Right.
if they don't communicate that to you, and they just say, well, all right, I know I got 400,000, but at my essay or somebody else, they can do it for 150,000. You're gonna get exactly what you paid for. A
You're gonna
hundred
get
and fifty.
exactly what you pay for.
A hundred and
Like
fifty
I always
thousand
tell,
dollars that's leaning.
like I always tell people, um, there are always people that have different sets of standards. And depending upon your standards is dependent upon the outcome what you're going to get. Because the problem with most people is that they want more for nothing. And a lot of times people don't like nobody to look them in their face and tell them the truth. They want somebody to look them in their face and sell them a dream. And then they end up with probably like 5 of these customers I got now with contractors, actually not really contractor dude that got a truck and some tools posing as a contractor, but he really a high level handyman. And you
Yeah,
go and he give you a price, and you like, oh, I like the price. But then when you get into the quality of the work, now you end up getting irritated. Your job sitting. I go out to some customer houses. I went out to a lady house over in East Point. This guy, he not tore out her house. He got trash all out in the yard. House all in a disarray. And I said, hey, that's what you paid for. I said, because
yeah.
I said, you guys, most people, they don't look at the signs and the signals from the start, because the way a person start is exactly where they're going to finish. A lot of times people be so focused on the price of what something costs versus the quality and the quantity of what they're going to actually get and what they actually want. Because what they want is is one thing, but what they are willing to pay for is
Is
another
another
thing.
thing. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Is there? Have you ever thought about like doing seminars about showing people how to like find the right contractor, the right builder, and all it just to educate our people because they don't know. So have you ever thought about doing like a one-on-one consultant or like a small seminar? Like probably like once a month, have people come in and you teach them about construction, the building, take them through take them through the process. Bring a realtor in. That person can tell them how the finance situation may go. Then also too, I know your wife. She used to be in real estate as well. Bring her in and to be able to talk to the people. Have you ever thought about that?
Well, actually, I do classes like that. I do it on a I do it. I coach people on an individual basis. So I'm actually looking to expand that platform, but I do that right now. But the great thing about me, DC, is that when a person sit in front of me, they getting more than just a contractor, because I'm not just a contractor. I'm an investor. I'm a
Yep.
real estate investor. So I understand the whole dynamics of real estate. I've been doing this now in Georgia since 2006, and I done bought, sold, flipped. So I understand the language from all angles, and I know how to guide people in areas, not just the building dynamics, but to get them to understand that time is precious, especially if you're an investor versus just a person that's just trying to build your own residential home. So I can take, I train, I take people through a whole dynamics once they really get inside my game room.
Right. Have you ever done like a commercial property? Have you built like a
Oh
commercial
yeah.
property or like kind of like remodeled?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You had the opportunity to come see some of the work. So we do
I
we're
know.
licensed.
I'm just saying. I
we're
I I, I know what you do. You know what I'm saying?
we're like
I
yeah,
don't been in
yeah.
that room you in now, so I know.
So yeah, so we are licensed to do commercial real estate, and also do commercial rebuilds and churches and all that kind of stuff.
Man, let's talk about this project that you're doing. Your brand new home that you
Yes.
building. Take me through that process, man, because that land is just so beautiful. How did you come across all that beautiful land with that water behind it?
Well, one of my brothers, he found the land, and he ended up building 12,000 square foot house out there. And when we saw it, we was like, hey, we might well just going to get the other part. And we was like, okay, well, what are we going to do with it? We was like, we're going to build a fun house. So when people say,
Okay,
well, what
what
is a
what's
fun
what's
house?
I was going to ask you what's a fun house now?
Well, uh, a fun house is a house that you don't actually, live in it every day. It's a house that, you make money with it. You bring in, high level events, high level clients, that you're vetting and able to take them to a place called paradise, because
It is a beautiful place.
when you look at the island, when you look at the land, it's like you're on your own island. So you
Correct.
got the
Correct.
water, you got you ain't just got a swimming pool, you got a whole lazy river like you see at a hotel resort. Um, you got the tennis court. You got your movie theater. The house is everything that an entertainment and a fun house is supposed to be.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
was our mission. It's really not for us just to live in, because 9 times out of 10, we live in a 20,000 square foot house, and we're not gonna leave it, because we comfortable here. But when we want to enjoy
The
that
other
property with our
the other
families,
yeah, the other paradise.
yeah, yeah, the other paradise. So we just gonna go over there and enjoy it. Other than that, it's all about just investments and continuing to grow the enterprise.
So a property like that, say if I had the funds to buy it and I want you to duplicate that property, how much would that property cost me?
Um, you're looking at probably about 7 million.
Yeah.
Like the swimming pool alone is $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe it. Like I say, I've been there. So
Yeah,
I know the property is worth some millions because it's a beautiful
yeah.
property. You know what I mean? So I just love how I was there to watch it. You know what I mean? Well, by the time I got there, everything was pretty much almost done. What you got a
Hmm.
six? You got a 6 car garage.
Yeah,
I like.
actually an eight car garage. You count the two up by the tennis court.
Oh yeah, see, I ain't see those when I came in. But yeah, it's a beautiful property, and then it is a great place to entertain, But to get to that level, what I'm saying, it's a lot that you have to do to get to that level. Robert and his wife didn't get to the level they are now overnight. They put a lot of hard work, sweat, and tears. Throughout the night, a lot of prayers, all of that.
Yes.
A lot of people just look at the end result, Rob. They just look at, they come
Yeah.
on that property, they say, "Oh my God, this brother balling." I mean, he got like
Hmm.
cars, everything, but they don't know. They don't
Right.
know. They don't know how you got there.
Right.
And
Right.
and I think that this is a great opportunity to let people know, hey, look, I don't only own Black Stone Construction. I got other businesses that I do as well, and
Most
and and,
definitely.
and that's why my next question is, what is your next big power move?
Well, right now, um, we're working on a lot of investments with the crypto. We're launching skincare lines. Um, we're just mainly just investing. Because we're at the point now where we don't want to work for money. We want money to work for us. I don't know if
Correct.
people caught that,
Correct.
but
You can say it again.
we're at the point right now where we don't want to work for money. We want the money to work for us. And a lot of times people are so in tune to like, I gotta work for money. But if you start positioning yourself and you start putting yourself in the right environment and stop being afraid, a lot of people are so afraid to let their money go into rotation. A lot of times people think, oh, I'm doing something because I got 100,000 saved up in the bank. Well, imagine you take that 100,000 and you take 50 or 75 of it and put it in a performing investment, and that 75,000 turn into 300,000. And we just try to share with people like, success has a journey, and I always tell people, don't look at me where I'm at. Look at me and understand that I've had a long, long journey. And through this journey, I had a lot of ups and a lot of downs. I won and I lost. But the only thing that kept me on track is the will to win.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I done lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, some millions. But did that stop me from saying I want to try something again? No, because when you become a seasoned investor, you understand that there are going to be wins and losses. Do you want to calculate those? Yes. And we actually have opportunities at stake now that we are showing people how to start their own family banks, how to start, buying properties and land and building on that land and taking the land and making the land become an asset to you. So it just all about just getting the right people with the right mindset that
Set.
say,
Yep.
hey, hey, I want to take a chance on me. You know what I'm saying? Because the great thing about taking a chance on you, you ain't gonna quit until you win. I always
Right.
tell a person, I always tell a person, that person that's looking to jump into the real estate arena or the construction arena or any other arena. Your job is preparing you for your exit. Because a lot of times people say I'm going to work, but the reality of it is your job is not your work. Your job is just a job. Your work is something God gave you that nobody can even take away from you. But
Exactly.
a lot of times we're burying our work in a job, not understanding that it's never going to get you where you want to be. That's why most of us are paycheck to paycheck, a check to check, a check over a check.
Yeah. Robbing Paul to pay Peter.
Yeah, robbing Paul to pay Peter, and sometimes Peter never get paid either because you told Paul you was gonna pay him, but when you got the money, you had to go holler back at Mary.
Hey,
You robbed Paul. Know what I'm saying, to pay Peter, but when you went to go Peter, you forgot you owed Mary, so Peter went had to go on hold too. Hey,
that's good. That's good. Hey, Rob, explain to me about the money bank.
okay, the money bank. The great thing about the money bank is that it allows people to set up what we call these insurance policies. Okay, when you set up these policies come with a value to them, and a lot of times people don't know that life insurance say life, it don't say death insurance. So we have learned the components that have been kept away from us all this time. We have learned the components of how to show people how to start setting up their own family bank, and within 90 days they will have access to money that they never knew that they would have access to. Now, once they have access to the money, now we start showing them how to take these monies and put them into investments that start performing. And it's just that simple. It's more
See,
detailed, but it's just
yeah,
that simple.
yeah. And that's why I wanted you to come on, man, because you're so full of information when it comes to, making the right moves and showing people about how to invest in a money bank for their family. Because a lot of us don't really know about it. You know what I'm saying? They don't know
Right.
now. Now they gonna know now because Power Move's gonna hit, and once it hit, people gonna want to know, hey. How can I get in contact with Mr. Jackson? How can he teach me about the money bank? Go ahead and drop your information and let people know how they can reach you or how they can reach the family to show them. Or do you guys have an up and coming event for 2023 to show them how they can come and invest in themselves?
Well, I'm gonna give people my number and my email where they can drop me their information, or they can also just call me directly. I will either answer the phone or one of my sisters grab the call and take the information. So my number that I can be reached at is 678-768-4515. I also can be reached by email at blackstoneconstructionatl@gmail.com.
What about your social media? Do you have any social media to say if anybody want to see any of your projects? Do you post? Do you post your projects online?
Well, DC, I don't really do a lot of the social media. And when people see me on social media, that's when I'm with my wife and we're doing a whole nother level of branding.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, 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 yeah. But it's good to be able to have something that people could. These days, some of the people they don't walk by faith. They walk by sight. And
exactly.
sometimes you got to show people.
Yep.
And a picture is worth 1,000 words.
I
And
agree.
and then also too, if they see it, it's just a mind thing. Then they start believing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like you and I. We never seen God before. We never seen Jesus
Right.
before. But we
Right.
believe.
We believe.
We believe. And by believing that, that's all I need.
Yep.
But
I agree.
but people, Robert, people in the
Oh yeah,
world,
they like to see.
they
Yeah,
got
they
to
like to
see it.
see.
They got to see
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and I'm adding a young lady onto the team, and actually she started this week. That's really finna start blowing up on my social media. So they're gonna start seeing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
know you. I know you're busy, man, and I'm so grateful that I was able to get you up. I know you say you've
Oh
been up
yeah.
since 5 o'clock this morning,
Oh
but
yeah.
when I say this brother here is hard to get a hold to, sometimes this brother hard to get a hold to. You know what I mean? He see me calling, and he hit me, and he say, "DC, let me call you right back." You know what I mean? And then guess what? I don't hear from Robert until like 10, 11 o'clock at night when I'm asleep. That's when he called me. He say, "Oh, hey, I'm sorry, bro. It's been one of them days. What's good?" I'm like, "Bro, I gotta call you tomorrow now."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I be burning midnight oil. I wake up at 5 in the morning, and sometimes I don't go to bed to 1, 2 o'clock at night. And that's what I tell people: when you want to step into that next level arena,
Yeah.
sleep is not even in the equation. And I was just sharing that with another young couple. I was like, you guys saying, hey, you want to go to the next level, but what are you willing to sacrifice? Because it comes, next level stuff comes with a different level of sacrifice, and a lot of people not really willing to sacrifice a lot of things. I know when we was growing, we sacrificed a lot of things. We sacrificed some family time. We sacrificed some kids time. We sacrificed a whole lot of time to be able to come back around, and all the time that we sacrificed and the people that went through it with us, now they are able to enjoy the fruits of the labor. Now we're able to have way more time. Now we're able to pay for family trips and tell everybody just pack your bags and this is what we going to do. So it's like people would
That's a blessing.
be like, people would want you there in the moments, but when they understand the process that you went through, and they start understanding that we didn't just go through this for us, we went through this for our family,
Right.
not just our immediate family, but
For
our
our
extended family,
children. Yep.
our children. So that's why I tell people, just sacrifice. It's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of changing of your schedule. It's a lot of not being able to sit in front of the TV. It's a lot of minimum wage activity that you can't do to go to the next level.
Yep. Yep. Man, Rob, man. Again, like I say, I appreciate you, bro. And you one of the ones I can just say, he a real one. And I know that I can always pick up the phone and call you if I have anything on my mind or anything I need to talk about. I know you may not get to me right then, but you will get to me. But I just want to say again, man, congratulations on all your success and everything that you're doing, everything that God is blessing you and your family with, and everything that you can't see right now that God has blessed you guys already with. And my hat goes off to you and the Queen Nicola. And
Appreciate
y'all just keep grinding, man. And I love you guys. And hey guys, power moves. Y'all think it's a joke? It's for real. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm bringing these people on, so you guys can hear their stories and hear how they are making great power moves and how you too can make power moves. Don't go
Yeah.
nowhere. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back, next week for the new episode. All right, peace out, everybody.